I'm Victor Lucas. This is Johnny Millennium. You are watching Film Fury, and we watched a brand new HBO documentary about Andre the Giant. And my first thing that I have to do is thank you for this incredible suggestion, man.
I know. Me and my wife sat and watched it over the weekend, and let me just say, we had tears at the end. It was so moving. And I got to put it back to you. Did you watch wrestling in the 80s?
No, I had no affinity for it. It was not my thing. I think I was just, I was a little too old for the hype around wrestling, because they talk about the roots of cable television in the U.S. and wrestlers becoming this cultural phenomenon. Of course, I loved Hulk Hogan in Rocky III. Rocky III was one of my favorite movies growing up.
You got into this?
I loved it. And,
so funny.
And I remember The Princess Bride and seeing Andre the Giant. So, I mean, even though I didn't watch wrestling, wrestlers were so pervasive and so popular. Of course they appeared in things that I liked.
Exactly. Well, you know, I remember seeing it in the 70s and going, oh my God, wrestling is really not my thing.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, Hulk Hogan and Andre the Giant, that was the big match, and every kid in school was talking about it.
Yeah.
And so that got me into wrestling, and I was like, wow, this is incredible. And, you know, beating this incredible, gigantic man that when I was a little kid, he seemed even bigger back then, but he was a huge guy in reality.
Yeah.
And we got to learn all about who he is and how he became who he was in the wrestling circuit. It's insane.
It was really good, and you know, the documentarians accessed lots of wrestling historians, and I did not know that that was a category
I know.
or a job.
I think they wrote books and were really into this. And
yeah, but they had lots of extra details around this. And one of the things that I love about this movie is that we get to know the man, but we also get to know the myth around Andre the Giant, and the historians are really articulate in sort of outlining the fact that this was a mythic human being. He was
bigger than life.
He was larger than life in every sense of the word, and people would tell stories about him to make him bigger than life.
That he drank 120 beers on a night, but he actually did do that.
Yes.
And all of that. The thing that I thought was fascinating was his accent. I didn't know he was French.
Oh, you didn't?
I didn't ever know that. So there's a lot you get to learn in this. And we're not going to ruin all of the things, because you got to watch this documentary. It's a must-watch if you like wrestling or you don't.
Yeah, I don't think you need to be at all a fan of wrestling. And I'll tell you, I think that was what was so remarkable about this human being, is that he transcended wrestling. And he embodied wrestling. He was up until Hulk Hogan kind of took the torch from Andre the Giant, he was the most important person on Earth for the
most well-known.
Yeah,
he became legendary that way.
Yeah, he was like the mascot of wrestling. And it was all regional before the McMahon
family brought it all together.
Yeah, turned it into this national sort of phenomenon. And it really took legwork to kind of get people fired up. And Andre, as we learned in the doc, had a whole bunch of different names that he fought under. Yeah. And some of them were pretty funny. I don't want to spoil any of those jokes.
Yeah, I know.
Because it's all illuminating and so worth the focus. Yeah. And there's great, lots of cameos, like Arnold Schwarzenegger appears in this, and of course Hulk Hogan.
So much, There's so much heart in this, and it's little moments when I saw Vince McMahon, who's a really tough guy. Yeah. He broke up about Andre the Giant, and he just said he was special, and it was really something else. But there's also some really great humorous moments. One bit that me and my wife cannot stop quoting. Yeah. No baby oil.
Yes.
That's the best thing in the world. That whenever Randy, the Macho Man Randy Savage would ever come in, he was all baby oiled up, and Andre did not want to wrestle him with all this oil on, so he'd always go, "No baby oil." It was very funny. There's some really great moments in this. You get to really learn about this character, his history, his place in history, and what a phenomenal human being.
It was, and this documentary is something special, and I'm glad that we haven't really done like the HBO doc review on Film Fury, but this totally fits. This would have been a great cinematic, experience as well.
This would be a great movie to theater.
It really would, but it's a different era now, and everybody's just able to consume this stuff in lots of cool ways. I thoroughly recommend that you find a way to watch this, whether you know anything about him or not. Yeah, I know you're going to like this documentary.
And it's so funny that we're going to rate it. I'm just going to start right now. 10 out of 10.
It's amazing. I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10. It is absolutely worth your time.